Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 2 Unit 1 Final Exam Review. Remember to show every step and to circle your final answer. So, just a quick reminder about writing equations. Dun, 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 dun. We got this big box right here. Okay, so if you're given the y-intercept, okay, the y-intercept is 0b, and the slope, we're going to use slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. Now, if you're given a point and a slope, you have to use the point slope formula, which is the y1 minus y1, or y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. So we just have to pay attention to what are they asking for and what information do we have. Okay, so when you're looking at number 1, they say write a point slope. Well, they said point slope because they gave us a point and they gave us a slope. So that's the y minus y1 equals our slope, x minus x1. So I know what the slope is. I can put that in right away. And then just remember x goes with the x, the y goes with the y. So this changes to a positive 5 and that stays a negative 3. So when we're all said and done, it's y plus 5 equals negative 3 over 2, x minus 3. Okay, number 2. Once again, they want point slope. They gave us a point, they gave us a slope. So my slope is negative 6, and then I plug in the 12 because that's the y, and then my x goes with the x. And when it's two negatives, it changes to a positive. And that's my final answer. Okay, so now it's asking for a slope intercept. Well, they want slope intercept, but they gave me a point and a slope. So what I have to do now is solve. So I take the 4/3 because that's our slope. Sorry, my pen's kind of acting weird right now. So 4/3, and then remember x and y. So this changes to a positive 6 and a negative 9. So as I'm solving this, I have to distribute the 4/3 to everything. So, sorry, that's one of my last videos. We can clear everything. 4 divided by 3, 4/3 times a negative 9. Oh, got a second insert parentheses right there. And we get negative 12. Now, the y is not by itself yet, so I have to subtract 6 to both sides. And then we get y equals 4/3 x minus 18. Okay, so once again, they want slope intercept, and they give us a point and a slope. So I plug into point slope, negative 5 over 2, that's my slope, y minus 3, and it'll be x plus 8. And then we just solve. So y minus 3 on the left side, I'm distributing the negative 5 over 2x, distributing the negative 5 over 2x, times a positive 8, and we get negative 20. And then we get the y by itself. We add the 3 to both sides. And that turns into minus 17. Okay. So number 5, write the slope-intercept form of the equation of a line that passes through, but all I have are 2 points. So when we have 2 points, the first thing that we have to do is use the slope formula, which is not y, it's our slope equals, and we do the subtraction, it's the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So the first thing that we have to do is find the slope. Okay, so I start with the -3, -3 minus 7, and on the bottom we have 4 minus negative, and when I minus a negative, I'm really adding 1. So -3 minus 7 is -10, 4 plus 1 is 5, and then -10 divided by 5 is, excuse me, -2. Okay, so this is just our slope. I'm not done yet because it's asking for slope-intercept. So now I have to come back here, plug into point slope, and then solve. And you can use either -4 -3 or -1/7. I think when I did this on my own, I did the 4 -3. So that changes to a +3, that changes to a 4, -4, and then we solve. Distribute the -2, so we get -2x, and then +8, and then subtract 3 to both sides, and we get y equals -2x plus 5. Okay, so number 6 is very similar. Why don't you guys pause the video, see if you can do it. Remember, step number 1, find your slope. And then step number 2, figure out what the slope-intercept equation is going to be. Okay, so go ahead and pause that video, and good luck. Okay, so you find out that your slope ends up being a -3/5x, but then I was able to go straight into my final answer. Were you? Or did you do point slope? Well, see, the reason why I didn't do point slope is, dun dun dun, that's the y-intercept. It's y-intercept, man. I don't have to do point slope. That's why I gotta know your definitions. Yo. Okay, that's about as gangster as I'll get. So it pays to know the definitions. All right, number 7. We're asking to write a slope-intercept equation of a line that contains the point 4, 5, but then is perpendicular to y equals 2x minus 8. So I have to steal this slope, okay? Right now, the slope is 2 and it's 2/1. I want the opposite reciprocal of that. So that would be a -1/2. And now that I know that my slope is the opposite reciprocal, then I would go ahead and plug into point slope. We would use our new slope of -1/2 because that's the opposite reciprocal, and then plug in the 5 and the 4. And then we're solving. I'm distributing the -1/2 to the x, and then the -1/2 to the 4. I add the 5 to both sides, and we get y equals -1/2 x plus 7. Okay, so we need to look to see what it's asking for. Okay, slope-intercept contains this point, but then once again perpendicular to this equation. So we need to look at the slope. The current slope is -4/1. I want the opposite reciprocal of that. Well, right now it's negative, so now it's going to be positive, and instead of 4/1, it's going to be 1/4. Okay? And then we're just using point slope. Okay? So go ahead and pause the video and see if you can solve that on your own. Good luck. Okay, so we had to distribute the 1/4 and then add the 7 to both sides, so we get y equals 1/4 x plus 5. Okay, so the next one, once again, it's asking for slope-intercept. They gave us a point, but this time they want parallel. And when it's parallel, I want the same slope, okay? So when I plug into point slope, I can do that right away because I know my slope is -6. Okay, and then the y goes with the y, x goes with the x, and I felt like I've done this for 5 years already on this page. We distribute, and then we add the 5 to both sides. Okay, so we get y equals -6x minus 7. Okay, so the key thing is when you're reading this, look to see what they want you to do, look to see what they give you, find the key word, and then if it's parallel, steal the slope. If it's perpendicular, you have to change the slope. Okay, so our slope was -1/3. If you're plugging in a negative, remember you have to change the sign to a positive. -1/3 x. Negative times the negative makes that a positive. 1/3 of 3, or 1 times 3 is 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. And then we subtract 7 to both sides. So we get y equals -1/3 x minus 6. And that's it. Okay? So just remember that parallel means same, and then perpendicular over here is opposite and reciprocal. Okay? So that's going to be it for the first video. If you have any questions on the first side, please see Ms. Carranza or myself. We would love to help you out. Otherwise, this is Mr. Grice signing off for Algebra 2, Unit 1, Final Exam Review. Thanks for watching.